So, guys, what's going on? Here's something that interests me, and I figured I'd share it with you. This is a shootout that took place at Peter Luger's Steakhouse. Now, Peter Luger's is probably one of the most high-end steakhouses in New York City, if not the country. There's my man right there, the shooter. And so his name is Arkai Somerville. And he allegedly, he opened fire on the sidewalk Thursday night, wounding two innocent bystanders dining outside, including a tourist from California who now has a bullet lodged in his back. And what happened is this guy Somerville and his family were inside Peter Luger's, and they started to fight over a woman, or they started fighting about another family member and some girl. And he's from Brooklyn, this guy, and that's where this steakhouse is. It's in Brooklyn. And he was among 11 people celebrating a birthday party at the famed eatery in Williamsburg when they began arguing about some woman that weren't even at the party. He got so nasty that supposedly they asked him to go outside. He went outside the place and he still kept arguing and fighting with people, and then he pulled out a gun and just started to shoot at people. Now, this guy already had warrants. He had a bunch of warrants on him, and he was out of jail because nobody stays in jail anymore. And he took out his .38. He fired off a couple of rounds, and all the people he was firing at didn't get hit. So either he was firing at his own family members inside the restaurant, but he hit the other people that were sitting out there. He runs down the street. As he's running down the street, two 15-year-old kids are there. So he runs by these two kids that I guess were hanging out, and he points the gun at them, and he starts fighting and cursing with them. I guess he must have realized what he did, and he starts running more. Eventually, they nab him. And now here's the best part. The cops that nabbed him, there's a lot to this story, were actually at a anti-police protest. So the cops that grabbed this guy were down the street patrolling a defund the police protest. And, every week in New York, almost every day, they're shutting down the cops. They want to defund the police. And so the cops are down the street. There's a whole defund the police. They hear shots going off. They leave that defund the police rally, and they run over here and grab this guy who's firing a gun. And when they picked him up, this is what the story says. He's cursing at the cops. He's telling you don't know who you're dealing with. Now, in New York City, because he fired a gun and he shot 3 people, he's probably out. He's probably out of wherever he is, and he's probably got free Met tickets, because that's what New York City does. You commit a crime like this where you should shoot 3 people, and they give you free Met tickets and a free Metro card, and that's what they do. Anyway, the other part of this story is Dr. Drew is there. Dr. Drew, whatever his last name is, he is in the restaurant while this whole thing is popping off. And he's telling the news that he heard shots and saw a commotion, and that he started to, go where the commotion was to, see what was going on and help people. But other people in the restaurant were saying that when shots were being fired off, that Dr. Drew was hiding behind tables, and he crawled under a table. So you have 2 conflicting stories. You have one where Dr. Drew is saying, there were shots fired and commotion, and he went, he rushed over to, be the hero and stop this whole thing. And then other people are saying, no, when this thing happened, Dr. Drew basically jumped under a table. He was there with his wife and his kids or whatnot, and he supposedly was hiding under a table. Now, I'm showing you menus from Peter Luger. I know Peter Luger. The menu I'm showing you is from 2006. I don't know. I haven't been to Peter Luger's in a million years. I don't know what Peter Luger's is like. I don't know if the menu's still the same. So the menu that I'm showing you is from 2006. Those are the prices. I would think they're more money now. I don't know. I haven't been there, but I'm just giving you an idea. It is a very nice steakhouse. People go there for their birthday. It's a special occasion. You have people that do go in there for business, but usually when you're in there, there's 10,000 birthday parties going on. It's something that everybody, I guess, saves their money up, and they go to Peter Luger's for their birthday. It's kind of one of those once-in-a-lifetime things. I'm assuming that's what these people were there for. There was 11 of them. Now, here's the other part of the story I wanted to point out. one of the victims, so one of the people that were at this guy's birthday party, right? This guy Somerville, him and his family, they kind of said, like, this is what happens when you go out. Meaning that this thing of shooting, fighting, and all this is kind of like normal. It was like, yeah, it's Friday night. You know, you go out to eat, you get into a shootout, you shoot a couple of people. So this guy's family members, this is kind of just like, yeah, this is like everyday business. I thought that was another part of the story I found interesting, that there was, when they kind of interviewed the people and they interviewed this guy's family and the people that are around him, this was something that was like, it's no big deal. You know, this is just, you know, Kay's popping off. You know, he's just doing his thing. You know, shoot a couple of people, go out to dinner. And there's just a lot to it. Peter Luger's, Dr. Drew, family basically saying, this is not a big deal. This is, you know, this is kind of what it is, you know, when you go out to eat. I figured that I share it. Why not? I found it interesting. It's not something, maybe it is something you see every day. I don't know, New York City is a little nuts. Like, subscribe, and comment. Maybe you know more about this story. Maybe you've been to Peter Luger's. I don't know. I hope everybody's doing well. Leave a comment below, and I will talk to you guys later.